access to this area is by the Wodi Wodi Track, which is named after the original custodians of the land. So there's an enormous history of Indigenous settlement in this area, which, particularly where we live on the south coast, is so important to know and to acknowledge that culture. The area that I'm painting is about 15 minutes from my home in Thurul. I find the most important thing with the painting is actually going up there and painting and doing sketches and becoming really familiar with the place. I like to paint this place because it offers so much in terms of form and light. A distinctive feature of this area is its close proximity to the ocean. The whole forest seems to come alive in the mornings. There's this incredible light that permeates the whole area. It comes from the light that's sort of reflected off the ocean and sort of bounces up under the forest canopy. There's incredible forms in there as well, with the Angophora trees, with the twisting limbs, the incredible colour. There's also something interesting too that I guess correlates with my work, in that there's so much sort of form, overlapping form. So one can take a colourist approach with the subject and also take a tonalist approach. I feel abstraction is really important in a painting, at least some level of abstraction. I like to look at abstraction and representation as a scale or as two distinct points, and to position myself somewhere along that scale, if you like. Sometimes moving more into abstraction and sometimes moving into representation. And I like that freedom of movement. When approaching painting, you want to have that freedom. You want to be able to respond directly with something that's in front of you that is inherently abstract. The Angophoras, for instance, that are a big part of the escarpment forest, have this inherent abstraction in terms of the growth of their limbs, and there's an incredible sort of randomness. But having said that, there's also an inherent pattern. So the painting can't help but have areas of abstraction and areas of representation. And it's almost like a dance between those two positions. And that's the wonderful thing about painting on the escarpment, is that there's so much colour, there's so much overlapping form. There's this beautiful inherent abstraction in the bush up here. And for me, it's a place that I'll keep coming back to paint, to find respite and to reconnect.